Hey guys, 10 years we've been posting videos on YouTube, total of 3,000 and something videos, and very few of them haven't been about Japan. We've always tried to keep on topic because we think Japan's more interesting than anything else, so we always try and keep it on topic. However, we've had some small developments that have come up today that we posted about on Facebook, and that's resulted in some discussion and some questions and things. So, to be honest, don't really know what's going on at the moment, but just to try and address it, to try and answer those people that are asking questions that are concerned and interested and so on. What happened today was while we're working on YouTube answering questions and reading comments and stuff, just noticed across the top just a blue line. This channel is no longer eligible for monetization. Right, so monetization is the ability to have ads on the videos that we then make money from. Not a lot of money. Usually for our, we get about 500,000 views a month, so about 500,000 views a month of our videos, of all our videos total, and from that we make about $200 a month on average. So obviously years ago it used to be a lot more than that, but the way it works now with Google and YouTube is it's about $200 a month, which obviously isn't a lot of money, but to a family, to a family like ours, obviously it's important. You know, we need it. So it was almost like it was fake at first. You know, it has this thing. This channel's no longer eligible for monetization. So those of you who don't know about this, you go to your channel setting, the channel page, and it tells you your standing. So it has community guidelines, and there's a happy face, and then a sadder face, and a sadder face, and a really sad face, and there's a copyright thing, and it's the same thing. It's your standing in regards to copyright. So if you've had a copyright strike, they call it, so if you've breached the copyright rules by posting a video that's copyright infringement, you'll get a strike. And then if you get 4 strikes, the rules say that if you get 4 strikes that they might disable your channel or punish you in some other way. And the same with the community guidelines, so if you post nudity or something like that. So we had a strike a long time ago. We posted a video that had a nude monkey in it, and you could see his penis, and so we got a strike for nudity and sexual content. Right? And the strikes last 3 months and then they disappear. So if you get 3 or 4 strikes within a 3-month period, you know, you can look at having your channel shut down. So just check that page straight away, just in case we missed something. Check that page straight away. It says quite clearly you have 0 community guideline strikes, so there's a little smiley face there, and you have 0 copyright strikes, and there's a little smiley face there. And then also check, you can check your videos, you can check which ones have copyright notices on them, and just double check that. And it was exactly, we're very careful about all this, about following the rules, and we checked, and the only ones we ever have is if we have something in the background. So recently we made a video that had about not standing too close, and we had 10 seconds of a song, and we knew what would happen when we posted that video, that they don't allow you to make money from it if it's got copyrighted content, and the people who own the content get the money. So that 3-minute video or whatever it was, 4-minute video, had 10 seconds of that song, and basically any money generated by that video would go to the company that owns the song. And we knew that when we posted it, but we really wanted to include the music, so we did. We've had other ones in the past where the music played at festivals was copywritten by some Japanese company, and so that same thing, they got the money from the video. But when that happens, YouTube sends you an email that says, you know, that somebody has claimed ownership of that content. You're not in any trouble. It says quite clearly, you're not in any trouble. Your community standing is not affected at all. All it means is that you're not going to make any money from this video. The money will go to that company that owns the copyright. And we know that. And we weigh it up. We know at the time when we post it that'll happen, and we weigh it up and go, well, we only make a few cents a video anyway. So, you know, we want to include the music, so we do. So double checked, everything was fine. We have no copyright strikes. So all those rules that we followed them all, hadn't broken any rules at all. And then it said that that our monetization had been disabled for duplicated content. And duplicated content is when you upload a copy a video from somewhere, so a documentary or anything, copy a video from somewhere and re-upload it to YouTube, and that's duplicated content, which obviously we don't do. You know, we've got 3,000 so many hundred videos, and we don't do that. You know, that's not what we do. And if we had done that, we'd have strikes, copyright strikes, which we don't have either. So it's obviously a mess up. We've had this over the years. Same as with the naked monkey, you know, the monkey penis being nudity and sexual content, which is ridiculous. YouTube's full of documentaries of animals having sex and stuff. It's not nudity or sexual content. It's animals, naked animals, you know. And so we've had this sort of shit from YouTube before, which is sort of one of the things that's weighing on us a bit, while we're a bit sort of sick of it, is because, you know, 10 years of this, and we've had a lot of this shit over the years, you know, and we had a big discussion here today. Because someone put the point that recently our Patreon support has dropped right down because we've lost some of our supporters because, you know, someone was sick and couldn't afford it anymore, and someone else has changed jobs, and someone else has stopped work and gone back to studying at university. So for different reasons, we've lost some Patreons, and so the Patreon support has dropped down, and then this extra couple of $100 a month has disappeared as well. And someone made a point today that spending a couple extra hours at work, a couple of hours of overtime, a couple of days a week, would bring in the same amount of money that, you know, we're making from spending 7 days a week on making videos for YouTube. So that someone is definitely having strong feelings about that and thinking that it would be a better lifestyle just to spend an extra couple of hours at work and then come home and not have to do any of this stuff, you know. However, there's also another line of thought that we really love making these videos, you know, and really enjoy it, really enjoy making the videos and enjoy posting them and enjoy you guys watching them and enjoying them too. And, you know, and 10 years, we spent 10 years building the YouTube channel and 103,000 subscribers and 88 million views, you know. And, you know, it's obvious that there's just some stuff up. It's probably, who knows what triggered it. Usually these things are triggered by vindictive people flagging stuff that shouldn't be flagged, probably. Or it seems to be an error, because if it was legitimate, we would have got some sort of strike or some sort of warning first. There was nothing. So it sort of seems like there's a mistake being made somewhere. But I mean, we've had lots of this over the years with Google, and all it does is shatters our faith in them, you know. Just to finish off what the actual penalty is, it says that monetization has been disabled for a month, and then after a month you can reapply. But you know, it took recently. You guys might know we got the silver play button from YouTube, ironically, and they don't issue that until someone actually researches your channel and checks your channel and makes sure it's all legitimate, which also shows that what they're doing at the moment is a mistake, because they already checked the channel to make sure it was legitimate, because they don't give you the silver play button unless they've checked you out first to make sure that your content's all your own content and that you're not doing anything dodgy and all the subscribers are legitimate and there's nothing fake about it. So they already checked us out and made sure everything was legit. And it took 3 months to do that. And so that's why, we're skeptical, because, you know, it says after a month you can reapply for monetization, but, you know, how long does it take them to process that, and what's the result of it going to be? And then even if we do that, you know, who's to say this won't happen again? Who's to say they won't suddenly bring the channel down? This has happened to people before. There's just some mess up in the system somewhere and they just suddenly take a person's channel down and they don't give a rat's. They don't care. You know, the other thing we've been putting up with them for years is this constant rule changing. You know, constantly changing the rules, and some people, every time we mention that, we made a few videos on our other channel which ironically, they actually demonetized that a while ago as well because they changed the rules. And there's always someone who says, oh, it's their website, they can do what they want. And that's totally true, of course. However, anybody who's been in business before will know that when you have a business agreement with someone and that person or those people put in, you know, their part of the deal, if you then change the rules, and because that's what's pissing us off, is that people like us, the little guys like us, that have been posting videos every day for 10 years, we're the ones that helped YouTube become successful. And we do that based on what the rules are. And then consistently over the last 10 years, whenever they feel like it, they just change the rules. And here's the new rule, you know, here's the new rule. And it inevitably goes against the little guys like us. You know, that just suddenly, oh, the rules change, this is the new rule. And because the rule is that you're supposed to have these community guidelines and copyright strikes, and that if you're all good and you don't have any strikes, you're not in any trouble. You're in good standing, is what they say. And yet suddenly, they can just suddenly go, boof, you know, and we've seen this before. We don't trust them. We just don't trust them, you know. So a big discussion today about the different alternatives. So, you know, the alternative is just stop doing all this shit and just spend an extra few hours a week at work, do a bit of overtime, and just stop doing this altogether. And the shit, look, love making the videos, love you guys watching it, but just the Google, the YouTube thing, constantly being screwed by these guys, don't trust them anymore. Just don't trust them and don't feel any confidence in them at all. And what's next? You know, some people were surprised, were so skeptical about that silver play button and saying it didn't mean anything. This just proves it, doesn't it? All the bullshit they said in that form letter that they sent, that photocopied letter that they sent about what great work you've done building your channel and everything, that's why we said it didn't mean anything. We know what they're like. It's all just illusion and bullshit. You know, there's no truth in any of that. You know, we really appreciate what you've done. No, you don't, you bastards. You give us that piece of metal, and then a few weeks later we get this shit go on. You know. So yeah, the different options, don't know. I mean, the only reason I'm making this video is because some people on Facebook seem to be interested in asking questions and things, and just telling you where we're at the moment. You know, don't know. You know, one school of thought is to stop doing it. The other one is we've got a Daily Motion channel. Daily Motion's similar to YouTube, but it's owned by a French company, and we've had videos on there over the years, just as a backup to YouTube, but also for videos that we can't post on YouTube because the French, you know, they don't give us penalties for posting nude animals, right? The French seem to think naked animals is a natural thing and not a problem, and we just haven't had any problems with this sort of shit with them. So the other option is to start posting all the videos on Daily Motion and tell YouTube to go fuck themselves. But the only argument against that is that we know that a lot of you guys want us to stay at YouTube. We've had this discussion before, you know, when they've screwed us over before, we've had this discussion, and it's just something about being screwed over repeatedly by a company and then continuing to do business with them. And you know, that 500,000 views a month that we get, that helps YouTube. So we're doing stuff to help them. You know, and they're constantly screwing us and changing the rules, and it's a real strong sense of injustice. But during the discussion today, it was like, well, it's not the company that matters, it's the people who watch the videos, and you know, that's the point. That's what we've come back to over the years, and that's why we're still at YouTube. But it's just gives us no confidence at all to keep working at it and keep building it and keep working at it, and then just know that at any minute some dickhead at YouTube can push a button and our whole channel could disappear. So, don't know. The other solution is if we can get some more support on Patreon. You know, that'd be ideal. If we could get the support on Patreon up past our goal. And again, our goal wasn't based on wanting to be millionaires. We've got a family to support. We've got bills to pay. The goal was to get enough from Patreon, enough support from Patreon that was the equivalent of having a part-time job at a convenience store. So we worked out based on how many hours a week we spend on YouTube, how many hours a day, how many hours a week, and how much we'd earn working a part-time job at a convenience store in Japan, which is about $10 an hour, you know, and worked it out based on that to justify the time we spend on it. Because it comes up, it regularly comes up when it's night and it's weekend and it's all these other times that we're on the computer doing the YouTube thing. It comes up on the computer again, doing the YouTube thing again. And if it's contributing to supporting the family, then it's sort of a thing that people can understand and support. But you know, at the moment, after this, it's like, oh shit, you know. It was already all very tight already, and then we've got this going on. So yeah, look, if we could get the support on Patreon up, that would definitely help. If we could get up past our goal on Patreon, that would definitely help. And then, you know, if YouTube, you know, who knows, just no confidence in them at all. You know, 30 days from now, we reapply for monetization again. Well, you know, judging on how long it took to apply the silver play button, you know, it took 3 months for them to check our channel out and apply that. So how many months would it take for them to look at our channel? And then we've got to rely on some kid on his computer and at YouTube to look at our channel and re-monetize it again, so we can monetize it again. Who knows if they will or won't. So it's sort of the Patreon thing really makes us a lot more independent in a lot of ways. You know, to those one promise that we will make to the guys on Patreon, we'll make sure that all those people that support us on Patreon, is 148 or something at the moment. We'll make sure that you guys can always see videos, because we want to keep making videos, and we'll make sure that we can do that. So even if YouTube shut us down tomorrow, we've still got the connection with all those Patreon people. We've got, you know, we can post our videos on Daily Motion and then put them on Patreon, so you know that they're there. And you know, we can even email them to everybody if we have to, you know. So we can still do that. We can still guarantee you guys that we can still keep making the videos. That's not really a question. It's just this Google YouTube thing. They're wearing us down, you know. 10 years of their bullshit. It's wearing us down, and the only thing that keeps us going, because there's always someone, when we say this, there's always someone that says, "Oh, just go somewhere else." The only reason that we haven't until now is you guys, because we know that there's a lot of you guys that don't want to go and watch our videos on another channel, on another website that you know, YouTube's convenient for you, and we know that. And you like to leave your comments and so on. So yeah, we know all this. It's just disillusioning. It's disheartening. It's just disheartening, you know, and it just proves exactly the skepticism. Some people said that we didn't respond well to that silver play button, that we should have been more appreciative of what it meant. This just illustrates exactly why we're so skeptical about it. I mean, there's a couple of family members who are pretty proud of it, but personally, I wasn't. I know these guys, you know, I know the way they work. They're ruthless, heartless, full of shit. You know, the stuff they always say is that everything's sort of for a greater good and everything's to help make it a better experience for everybody, and they put all the Google spin on it. But the reality is they're heartless, ruthless, untrustworthy, change the rules, break the rules, make their own rules up as they go along. You know, you try and stay within their rules and they're constantly changing them. You don't know what they're going to do next. And injustice, you know, there's a million examples of injustice on YouTube over the years. Since Google bought them, we can actually remember before Google owned YouTube, it was actually a pretty good experience. But since Google have owned it, they've just been more and more ruthless as time has gone on, milking every dollar that they can out of it, and they don't care. They don't care about any of us. You know, the only people that get any sort of decent treatment are their millionaire front page YouTubers get a bit of support, and the rest of us we're just numbers to them. Small numbers, you know. 500,000 views a month is nothing to those guys. They don't care. They could just close us down, flick a button, and just our channel just disappears. They wouldn't care. 500,000 views a month is nothing, is it, for them? So We just don't trust them anymore. So look, some people have said they want to support. Well, you know, if you want to support what we do, it'd be great to have you on Patreon if you're not there already. If we can get up past our goal on Patreon, that'll definitely help. And we'll persevere with YouTube. We'll persevere with YouTube as long as we can. And just know if anything does happen, that they do anything stupid like shut us down, for no reason incidentally, let's keep that in mind. You know, our community guidelines page, or whatever the fuck they call it, is all happy faces, and it all says 0 strikes, 0 penalties, 0, you're in good standing. It all says that. And then it says monetization, illegible. So, yeah, the concerns are we just don't trust them. We feel bad about them, we don't trust them, we feel disheartened. But we're going to continue trying to do what we're doing. So if you guys can support us on Patreon, that'll be great. And we'll just keep doing our best. If anything happens that suddenly one day you can't find our channel, remember we're on Facebook. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Patreon. Links are all underneath this video, and you can track us through that. You know, and we'll keep making videos. If YouTube don't let us make it on YouTube, we'll make them on Dailymotion. In a lot of ways, they're so much better to deal with. If we could just get all you guys over there, it'd be so much better. Because I just don't like supporting this company that continually screws us. You know, just to add, we've got a couple of minutes left, just to add sort of salt to the wound. This week we've had to pay our website guys. English Friendly Japan doesn't make any money, right? Because most of the people on there are on there for free. And we had to pay our website guys money this week, because suddenly Google Maps have suddenly gone from being free to being that you've got to pay over a certain amount of usage a month, and we've all got to give them our credit card details and get special codes from them and all this bullshit. So again, Google changing the rules. Suddenly, you know, you've got an agreement with them, you're doing a certain thing, and then suddenly they go, no, from now the rules have changed, give us your credit card details. So they already cost us money this week, Google, by changing the rules on us and making us do something different. So, you know, we've just had it up to here with Google and YouTube. We'd love to tell them to fuck off, to be honest. We really would. But we won't. So it's sort of a bit short. We're still a bit confused, as you can tell. But in the meantime, we're going to keep going with YouTube and keep doing our best and keep staying within the rules and keep doing our part of the bargain. And just asking you guys, please, to support us on Patreon if you can, because if we can help justify it, it's a bit hard to justify it at the moment. So if we can help justify it by getting up to our goals on Patreon, that'd be really, really good. That'd definitely help. Anyway, there it is. We'll update you. I don't like making these videos because it's not about Japan. Our channel's about Japan. But it was just easier than writing pages of stuff on Facebook. And it also is going to tell the other people who aren't on Facebook who didn't know. Just in case we suddenly disappear, make sure that you track us through Patreon or Twitter or Facebook or Patreon or whatever. Anyway, it's been a long day. There it was. More videos probably coming soon.